I will come with you. He did not know much about the city of Kharkov. As it was a cold season, he failed to warm his body even in the afternoon sun. Dressed in winter clothes, he stepped out of the Helena railway station. The next train to Kiev is about 5 hours away. To pass the time, he wandered around without a definite decision. Stopping at the lake junction, he was looking at the scene on the other side of the lake. About half of the mountain range was covered in thick fog. Adding to the beauty of the lake, almost all the cypress trees around the lake have been decorated with snow as if decorated by a skilled artist. The roofs of almost every house facing the lake were covered with snow, illuminated by the lights inside. There are two men who are walking, piling up the snow on both sides of the highway that runs along the border of the lake. They cleared the entire highway with a tool similar to a wooden spade. Glancing at his watch, he lit a cigarette and sat down on the lake bed. It is not yet 4 in the evening. But he sensed that the darkness was very close to spreading. He feels that all the clothes he has put on are unable to protect the body heat. It was getting colder and colder. As his nose started to burn, he took the handkerchief and began to rub his nose. He stepped towards an oven to drink some alcohol to warm himself up. Thinking that it would be better to spend the night in Kharkov city and leave for Kiev city tomorrow morning, he changed his plan, thinking about some things, started lighting a cigarette and drinking alcohol. Tuck, 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 he tapped the table. "Brother, can I lodge at this hotel?" he asked the waiter who approached him. "No, brother, there are no rooms to lodge in this hotel. Where is a place near here with rooms to stay? If you want to get accommodation in the city, the only hotels near the Ivanovo station are convenient. From here, I think there is a distance of about 8 miles. That is too far. I want this near Helena station. After all, I have to go to Kiev early tomorrow morning. If I can catch a train from Ivanovo station to Kiev, I don't mind going there." "No, brother, the train to Kiev city is only from Helena station." "Then can you please tell me where you can get close quarters? It doesn't matter if you don't have the comforts. If you like, there are many places to stay on the street. They are not really shelters. Nightclubs. If you pay money, you can stop." "Well, thank you very much, brother." He decided to spend the night in a nightclub after watching the billows of smoke rising from his smokestack. After paying the waiter, he went out and entered a nightclub. The girl at the entrance greeted him with a warm wish. Taking off his gloves and putting them in his coat pocket, he sat on a seat in the front room. In no time, several young women came and sat in the seats in front of him. About 20 beautiful young women caught his eye. They all stared at him without any conversation and remained still. Looking at everyone's faces from time to time, he lit a smoke and stretched himself comfortably on the seat. "Go ahead." Ordering one of the young women, the governess snapped. His eyes were directed first to the governess, and secondly to the girl who had received the order. The young woman wore a brown and red skirt with combed hair, a light pink sweater, knee-length stockings, and well-polished shoes. His eyes met hers. It was clear to him that the paternity of her face was protected only by nature and not by coloring. He guessed it could see an expression of regret on her face as she stood leaning against the ornate glass cabinet. He opened a pack of cigarettes he had left and handed her a puff. "Thank you." She lit it and sat next to him as per his invitation. One by one, the other young women who were sitting with withered faces were drawn in silently. "What's your name?" "Patricia." "A beautiful name." She smiled slightly and looked down again. "Your name?" she asked slowly, raising her head. "Alexei Mikhaevka." He extended his right hand to her. Her cold hand joined his right hand. "It's cold, isn't it?" he asked. "It's cold because the front door is open. Let's go inside the room. I can't feel it when I turn on the stove." He stepped into the room with her. Approaching the burning furnace, He took off his shoes and coat and began to stoke the fire. "Would you like something to drink?" she asked. "It's better to drink something to warm the body a little more." The said husband handed her the money to be charged for his visit and another money to fetch a bottle of vodka. Clinking the two full glasses together, they gave cheer tones and were silent for a long time. Alexei began tapping on the glass as the music rang out from downstairs. His eyes darted around the room as the music stopped. There are no pictures on the four walls. There was only a calendar hanging on one wall. To the right of the window was a beautiful view in the distance. There were several beautifully sewn gowns on the clothes rack. On the clothes rack on the other side of the window, there were only 2 towels. His eyes turned to her. He thought she was thinking about something. He picked up his vodka glass and tapped her glass on the table as if to ask her to drink too. "Was thinking nothing," she said with a small smile. "Isn't the view from that window beautiful?" he asked. "Yes, but the beauty of that scene can be seen in the spring season. Every tree has become beautiful with new leaves. Many of the visible trees have blossomed only in that season. I think the winter season is more beautiful than that. Not a single place looks empty. You can't even see a lot of garbage. It's all covered with snow and it's white. I think the snow on some of the trees looks like bunches of flowers in bloom." He got closer to her and hugged her to him and received a warm kiss. She lowered her head and put his shoulder on her head and closed her eyes. Alexei looked at her face for a moment and then straightened some of the hair that had fallen on her forehead. He thought that he should have some talk with her. No matter what environment she lived in, he felt a desire to hear her details. Again he looked at her face. Her eyes are closed. "Patricia." She looked up. "Why are you sleepy?" Alexei asked. "No. Not sleepy. Very lazy." "Then let's talk about something. I'm also very lonely. It's still 6 o'clock. Let's talk about something when we fall asleep." "I don't have anything to talk about." "Can you tell me what to talk about?" They were both silent for a moment. She poured some vodka into the glass and drank it. Alexei gave her another puff and lit one. "Patricia, do you mind if I ask about you?" She looked into his eyes and smiled a little. "What am I to do? Be offended? You have done me no wrong. Then I will ask you. Why do you live like this?" "Because my destiny has made me such a sinner." "What does that mean?" "I don't believe it would do anyone any good to tell anyone my life story or details." "Didn't you get offended by the question I asked?" "Oh, it's not a grudge. I mean, even if I actually said them, there's no benefit to either of us. How about you? Saying something like that? Maybe if you tell me, it might be useful. Do you think you have the strength of spirit to help a sinful woman like me?" His gaze was extremely frightening. Tapping the ashtray with his smokestack, he began to think. "You were afraid of the question I asked, right?" Alexei smiled defeatedly at her question and downed his vodka in one gulp. "Maybe I can help you, and maybe I can't, but if there's anything I can do, I certainly will. Thank you very much for the story you told me. I have asked for help to leave this life twice before. Both times, due to the defeat I received, I thought that I would be released after serving my time and would not seek refuge from anyone else. But today, you initiated this problem. Therefore, I feel that I need to tell you about this. Anyway, I'll tell you all. But I'm not asking you for help. If you are willing to help, I would like to accept it. I don't want anyone else to suffer because of my sinfulness." Alexei was silent. She started talking again. "It's been almost a month since I came to this place. It's exactly 33 days. My hometown is a long way away. I was born in the city of Vologda, which is far from Moscow. My father is a merchant in Vologda. Oh, my mother must still feel sorry for me." She sighed. Does Mom know you're here? Oh, no. If she knew I was like this, she would burst her chest and die. Mother must be sad without a letter from me yet. Does that mean you are not even free to write a letter? Oh, they don't even let me leave the front door to write a letter. But I wrote 2 letters to 2 people who I thought could be trusted who had spent the night with me last time. But it seems my father hasn't received even one of those letters. I actually learned a lot in school. But I never dreamed that such terrible things would happen on this earth. Ever since I was in school, I had a great desire to become a film actress. I can still vividly remember how my 3 younger brothers and I used to build a small stage at home and perform plays for my mother and father. Around June of this year, a guest who became friends with my father came to our house. I don't know exactly where the man's hometown is. However, the man quickly won the trust of our family. One day, my father told that man about my hope, that is, about my desire to become a film actress. At the same time, the man told my father that there is a gentleman he knows very well, a film director. He also said that he was looking for some young women to act in a movie recently. Oh, my innocent father still thanked that wretch from the bottom of his heart. But if father knows this, he will come to save me. Wait a minute, I'll go downstairs and check. She left the room like a madwoman. He poured all the remaining vodka into the glass and lit another smoke. She turned and came back to the room. I don't think Mom and Dad got the letters yet. She said with a sigh, Alexei, you still don't know much about the world. I think I've learned more in this 1 month than I have in my entire life. Alexei took the vodka glass with a defeated smile at her again and drank it in one gulp. So who brought you to this place? I told you before about the beast who came as friends with my father. He is the scoundrel who devoured me. Tears came to her eyes, which were shining with anger. But Alexei's behavior managed to give her courage. She was silent for a while and started talking again. That man brought me here saying that this is a place where film actresses choose. He handed me over to the warden and left. After dinner, I came to this room and the warden called me while I was lying on the bed reading a magazine. At that time I came to the front room. A well-built and well-dressed man was sitting on one of the chairs. Before that, it means that you were in the front room when you came today. A few girls were sitting. I really thought it was a film director. The man went to the warden and pointed at me and asked me something. What is that? I did not hear that. At that time I was very happy. With that he came to me and told me to go to my room. I obeyed him and entered the room with it. I came back to the door and looked. At that time, there was no one to meet my eyes. I was afraid. After entering the room, I left the door open for a long time. Why do you leave the door open? It's getting colder. When he said that, I closed the door and lit the stove. Did you come here today? Yes, I came this afternoon. What's your name? Patricia asked me some minor details like this. But I didn't want to hear any details from him. When the room was warm enough, he took off his coat, sweater, and shoes. I began to feel a strange fear. That's why I opened the door again and looked at the porch. When I saw that there was no one there, I became more afraid. When I returned to the room, the man was sitting on my bed. Patricia. What? Come and sit here. He pointed to the bed and said, No, I'll stay here. What do you want? I asked as I sat down in the chair. At that time, the man came to me and tried to hug me. The man was very drunk. That must be why I had the strength to escape from the man. I came downstairs and told the warden about this. What do you think you came here to do? I am not that kind of woman. I came to meet a film director and nothing else. Don't just talk like a crazy person and go to the room. The warden told me sternly. At the same time, 3 more girls came to me after hearing the sound. Are you going to the room? Or not? Asked the warden. Should I go to the room? You are wrong if you think of me that way. Run away if you want. I will not go. At that time, the man in my room got dressed and came to the warden. Give me the money I paid you. I have to go. No, sir, please sit down. The warden had to beg him. Sit in this hell. What do you think? I am a beggar. Return the money I paid. Gentlemen, please be patient and choose any of these girls. Pointing to all the girls, the warden said, No, I don't want anyone else. I want her. When the man pointed me out, he could not bear my anger. Are you going to marry me? I am not a fool to marry a devil like you. I stretched out my right hand and slapped him hard. At that time, 3 girls dragged me and tied me to the bed. I don't know what happened to that man after that. After some time, the warden came to my room with 2 papers. Who did you come here with? With my uncle. So your uncle didn't tell you about this. Don't ask me dirty stories and run away. He is not my uncle. I don't know who he is. Why didn't you tell me about it at the time? I asked about it when you came here, didn't I? When the warden asked me that, my anger turned into pain and I started crying. It's no use crying now. Did you sign these 2 papers without reading them? I don't know what I signed at that time. I was curious to know what it was. I, Patricia Ulyanovsk, am obliged to satisfy gents at the nightclub, at number 21, Alexandrov Street, Kharkov City. I also declare that I am willing to act according to the orders of the managers for a continuous period of 3 years, to accept 20% of the money I earn as my income, and to follow the rules and regulations of the club. I have read and understood the above conditions and signed them. When the warden showed my signature, I felt my eyes go blue. Oh God, I don't know that. Why didn't you read it at that time? The warden asked again. That beast didn't let me read. Now there is no point in scolding anyone else. Here is the second promissory note. Regarding my income from the nightclub number 21, Alexandrov Street, Kharkov, I have given 7,000 rubles to my uncle Maxim Ulyanovsk, a resident of Vologda, from the governors, plus 3,000 rubles as interest, and 10,000 rubles, to be paid within the 3 years I am bound to serve, with 20% of my income. I am bound. At that time, I felt like my whole body was going cold. After a while, 2 girls came and untied me from the bed. I sat on the bed and looked out the window and thought for a long time. I felt that there was no point in my life. I remembered my dear mother, father, and younger brother. Both my eyes filled with tears. I got out of bed and stood by the window. That night was exactly like this. Almost all the lights that are on now were also on then. Ah. No. No. I have never seen that light blue house in such a long time. I saw that light only today. I looked out the window for a long time and looked back. Then I saw a man with a mustache and a scary face looking at me. The man laughed in a strange tone. I felt like my whole body was shaking. As the man entered the room and closed the door, I tried to unlock the window. When the window opened, the man came to me and grabbed me. I could have been a lucky girl if I had been a little quicker. Next, the man pulled me to the bed and turned off all the lights. I think I lost consciousness as soon as I got caught in its grip. When I regained consciousness, the lights were on in the room and the door was half open. I hugged my pillow and cried a lot. I came back to the window and opened it. I came there with the intention of jumping, but I thought that there was no point in jumping now. I told God my sorrow. I felt that He would accept my innocence. I definitely realized that all this happened not by my will. But if I die, I am alive today only because I thought that I would do it of my own free will. Patricia took permission and left the room for a moment. Alexei's eyes once again ran across the room. He stood up from his seat and looked at the calendar hanging on the wall. He began to count the number of days that had been spent. The first day was completely closed in time, with only 3 legs of the wedge remaining, 1 full leg short of the target number for the day. There was a magazine on the small table. Taking it, Alexei turned it around and realized that it was written in English, and it said about the ancient history of Moscow, and put it back. Picking up the magazine again, he saw Patricia coming. There was hope in her gaze, Alexei thought. He sat on her bed. She also sat next to him. Patricia, he called to her in a soft voice, her pleading gaze on him. She rested her head on his lap. Do you think? I'll help you. Yes, I think so. It's still 8 o'clock. There's still an hour and a half before the movie starts. Will you go and get permission from the warden? Go see the movie with me. He asked her. If I ask about it, maybe they won't believe me. If you ask, you can go anyway. I will go and get permission. He took permission to go see the film with Patricia. But a taxi was provided by the warden with the condition that wherever they went, they would go with the driver. In that car, they went to the Leo Cinema Hall, which was about 5 miles away, and bought the tickets. Let's go to the liquor store, suggested Alexei, with plenty of time for the movie to start. When it was almost time for the movie to start, they left the liquor store and entered the hall. The film began. In a little while, I'll suggest let's go back to the liquor store and get some liquor. At that time, resist my suggestion that you should watch the movie. I'll somehow get the driver to take you to the liquor store we went to earlier. Like, you're supposed to leave in 5 minutes after we leave. Alexei whispered to Patricia, almost as if to the driver. I can do that, but where am I going? Alexei interjected. Wait a minute. I'll go out and come back. Saying, Alexei, separated from Patricia and the driver, approached a phone. First he spoke at the Ivanovo station. Could I please know what time is the next train to Vologda? The next train to Vologda is at 11:30. There is a train to Moscow at 10. Thank you very much. And what time is the train to Penza? For Penza, there are no trains from Ivanovo station, that is Western Railway, but you can go to Moscow and take the Vologda train from there, or you can find out from Helena station of Central Railway. Thank you very much. He put down the receiver and looked back curiously as if he was doubting whether the driver would come. But he called Helena station with comfort that he would not leave Patricia alone. Could you please tell me what time is the nearest train to Penza? It's 10:30 tonight. Thank you very much. Alexei rolled over and sat between Patricia and the driver. Like I said before, after we leave, you leave here in 5 minutes and go straight to Helena station. He began to murmur. To the station Helena. She asked in shock. Even though the Helena station is close to the amusement park, don't be afraid. Now no one will distrust you. They will start looking for you after receiving the driver's news. Don't be afraid of anything. There is a train from Helena station to Penza at 10:30. You should go to Penza on that train and stay in the rest room of the station. I will try my best to come to Helena station before 10:30. If I can't come, we will see you back in Penza. Anyway, you're on that train board the 5th compartment. She nodded. A strange light fell on her face. Alexei thought that the driver was staring at the screen, enjoying the film. Brother, the film is good, isn't it? Alexei asked. What are we doing? I have no desire. I am here because of those guys. So am I. Let's go then. Although the driver agreed to Alexei's proposal, Patricia insisted that she must see the film. Alexei realized that it was not as difficult as he thought to succeed in all activities. Brother, shall we both go and drink some alcohol? I would like to, but how can you leave this girl alone? We don't have any trouble from her. She will watch the film until we arrive. It's not like that, The lady sent me with a lot of warnings. No one else has been told this way before. She won't be going anywhere. Let's go and hurry up. It's too boring to be here. The driver thought for a moment. Then brother, I'll go out right now. Don't say you're going with me. You should come after I leave. If she asks where I went, tell Patricia that I went to the bathroom. Then, no matter how late we are, she won't try to go anywhere. The driver whispered in Alexei's ear, I'll go to the toilet and come back. He said so that Patricia could also hear him and left the hall. Don't be afraid. We're both going to the liquor store. Do as I said before. Alexei said with a smile and squeezed her right hand and walked out of the hall. By the time they reached the hall, half an hour had passed. Where's Patricia? Clueless, Alexei asked the driver. The driver's face turned red. I don't know if it went inside. Alexei said. Oh, no, brother. Even when I left, I was thinking. There is no guess. This must have escaped. So how? Now we're looking for her. Let's go to the amusement park first. Then we can get more people ready and send them to Helena Station and Ivanovo Station. There is no other way to leave the city at this time. There is no night bus. I think it would be better if we went to Ivanovo Station instead of going to the amusement park. That's because her hometown is Vologda, I think. Yes, it is Vologda. Then, brother, let's inform the entertainment center about this, that is, call and go to the Ivanovo station. Said the driver. Brother, if we inform them right now, we will both be wrongdoers, won't we? Because we were not with her. For me, I am pretty sure that girl is waiting at the Ivanovo station for the train to Vologda. When we go there and catch her, we will not be wrongdoers. Then we can take Patricia and go to the amusement park without any trouble. We won't have any trouble. Yes, brother, you are right. Let's go to Ivanovo station now. Alexei agreed with the driver and got into the car. It is 10 minutes past 10. After another 20 minutes, he said, no one would ever be able to catch Patricia. His idea was to meet her at Helena Station anyway. The car was approaching a four-way junction. Because of some festival held at night, the area was full of people like a summer afternoon. That's Patricia, right? Alexei asked. Where? Remove that vehicle and stop it? No, brother, parking is prohibited here. Let's go a little further and stop. Then I will get off here. You take the car to the road that turns left and park in front. Alexei, who deceived the driver, ran back and got into another taxi. 10:27 exactly. He said to himself. When he boarded the fifth compartment of the train that was to leave at 10:30 with the ticket to Penza City, the train started to pull forward shouting. She hugged Alexei. Alexei, I feel like I've been born again. I owe you my whole life for the help you've given me. There are no words in the language I've learned to thank you, Alexei. Tears welled up in her eyes. Why are you crying now? Just smile. Now you won't be in trouble. He took the handkerchief and wiped her eyes. Where are you now? Going. Go to Penza and put you on the Vologda train, and I will go to my hometown of Novosibirsk. Her heart felt unbearable pain. She failed to say anything, resting her head on his lap, and soon they both fell into a deep sleep. When the train stopped at the Litsky station, Alexei woke up. Patricia. Rubbing her eyes with her hands, she woke up too. Aren't you hungry? Alexei asked her. Very hungry now. What would you like to eat? No matter what. That sandwich in your hand is good, isn't it? After eating, they lit 2 cigarettes and started talking again. Alexei, where do you work? At the port of Sevastopol. Sevastopol is far away. So why did you come to Kharkov? I took my Christmas vacation, and on the way from Sevastopol to Novosibirsk, I thought I should go to Kiev. My aunt is in Kiev. When I got off in Kharkov, the next train to Kiev was about 5 hours away. So I walked here and there, thinking to pass the time. Then I thought I should stay tonight and visit my aunt early in the morning. Oh, so you couldn't go there because of me, right? It doesn't matter. You can go there when I go back. However, Alexei, you should be very careful if you come back to Kharkov like that. That driver is almost always at the Helena station. Oh, what really happened to that driver? I don't know. He must have been in a lot of trouble because you ran away. No guess. Is that the driver? Do you know? Who is that? It's a close relative of the owner of the amusement park I used to run. Even though he is a relative, he has to pay for the 7,000 rubles that the man took, right? What can we really do about it? That vehicle has been taken to the driver, and the owner of the amusement park is the same. Anyway, things like this have been done unfairly, right? There was silence between them again. She knew that it was only a few hours before they would reach the city where they would be separated from each other. Alexei, he turned his head and looked at her. I'll ask you a question. Say you won't be angry. I won't get angry. Ask anything you want. But if it's a question that can be answered, I'll answer it. If it's impossible, don't be angry with me, okay? Of course, why did you want to save me from there? I felt that I couldn't wait any longer for you to be there and suffer. I don't have the heart to forget that incident no matter where I go without giving help. Besides, when your eyes were filled with tears, I automatically remembered my sister. She is no longer alive. She left us about 2 years ago. I felt that I had to do this for her anyway. Thank you very much for your answer, Alexei. We will not be separated for long. So I will ask you one last request. In the name of your beloved sister, can you fulfill it? He looked at her in surprise. He failed to say anything. You promise me, Alexei, that you won't be recuperating in nightclubs for now. That's all I ask of you. Alexei survived. He looked away from the window of the oncoming train. He could not see any of the rushing scenes clearly. Why don't you listen to my request, Alexei? However, Alexei survived. Then you tell me exactly why you are going to heal in such places. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm not married. I'm not bound to anyone to share my sorrows and joys. The other is if I make someone innocent to satisfy my desire, it's wrong. But I don't go to such a place to get something by force. Yes, Alexei, as humans, no matter how big a mistake we make, we never like to admit the mistake. Of course, I don't want to get into arguments with you. No matter how right you say it is to go to the gym and get well, I will never accept it. I will ask you one question. Are you ever going to enter married life? Maybe. Yes, maybe you can live a celibate life. If you want to get married one day, you're looking for someone who has lived a clean life, right? It's not an issue right now. Alexei, you're avoiding the problem, but as far as I'm concerned, people who don't even have any self-confidence do such things. Patricia, you're wrong to say that. What you're saying is that I have no self-confidence. Well, tell me what you do when you have hungry. Eat something to quench the stomach fire. It's like that, when we think we want something, isn't it a lack of self-strength to get that thing? Alexei, I'm sorry if something I said hurt you. I can assure you that I have never received anything better than the help you have given me in my entire life. That is why I am asking you for this request. Even if I plucked all the flowers in the world and placed them at your feet to thank you, I do not think that you would be able to fully thank me. I have escaped this sinful life. Like, if you get saved, I'll be able to laugh for the rest of my life. So promise me, Alexei. Tears welled up in her eyes. Alexei, however, was spared. The train pulled into Penza. The train to Vologda is about an hour away, and the train to Novosibirsk is more than 5 hours. Having bought a ticket for her to Vologda and a platform ticket for him, Alexei began walking with Patricia along the third platform where the train to Vologda stopped. Alexei stopped by the 8th carriage and asked her to get on it. "I can't go in that compartment. I'll go in the compartment reserved for women only. So thank you very much for your help. Alexei. Don't forget that there is a girl on this earth who loves you just like your dead sister and wants you to be lucky and not go down the wrong path. So goodbye." She waited for Alexei's final answer. "You don't need to go to another compartment. Stay in this compartment. I'll go and get another ticket to Vologda." A mother and father couple were sitting on a deserted bench enjoying their baby daughter's caress until a train arrived. Looking at Alexei, who was coming from a distance, tears flowed down her cheeks, filling her heart with the painful thought of how much better it would have been if this was the journey that she, her mother, father and brothers took from this station about a year ago.